One of the things that I love, or the reason why we bring you up on our show so often, was you sort of pulled the curtain back a little bit on what it's like to be a player, and really spoke about sort of just the some of the hills and valleys of it. What made you want to sort of do that? And did you receive blowback? Have other players been like, "Yo, thank you for speaking out"? Or what was the course? What led you to that, and what's happened since?
Yeah, I never expected it to get the reaction that it did. I think I was just coming from a place of wanting to explain myself and explain what I'm feeling. I feel like I'm a naturally open, vulnerable person. And so just sharing my experience came naturally to me. But then when I saw the response, I was like, wow, this is like a very taboo topic. And this is something that needs to be talked about more. And I think I did receive a lot of encouragement from it and realized that it's something that a lot of people don't always know the words to find for their situation. And so just having more people in my position speaking out about it, I think helps give voice to what they're experiencing. And that was something that I still take pride in to this day and want to be vulnerable for those people in those moments.
Yeah, it's a thing that I very much appreciate, especially coming from professional athletes. There's people, it definitely happens more in the women's game. I always mention players like Chicharito, who is a person who shows vulnerability publicly, kind of calls out bad behavior and things like that, as in his community, in his sport, and things like that. But I guess I'm curious about from when you were Rookie of the Year, your first year, and won your Chipotle gift card to now, as far as like maturing as a player, maturing sort of with this league. How have you felt that you've developed as a player and a person in that time, in a time when even NWSL is changing a lot, for positively, negatively, things are coming to light. How have you sort of developed in that time?
Yeah, I feel like with time in this league, it's natural to gain confidence. And I think that is kind of my story throughout the league. Like I said, being Rookie of the Year, coming from a small school, that was just so out of the realm of possibility for me. And so I think my second year, I felt a lot of pressure to perform again at that level. And I didn't want to be, like a one-hit wonder and then just like fall off the face of the map. And so that second year was the hardest for me because I felt like I had to uphold this incredible rookie season that I had. And as a second year player, that was like a really big weight to carry. And so I just think over the years, I've kind of chopped that down and have just settled more into my role on a team, into the talents that I have. I think I've just been able to grow as a person because I don't have that in my shadow anymore. I feel like I've shown who I am. I've shown that I belong, because I think that was a really big thing, was belonging in the league. And so it's fun now to like have that pressure released from me, where I can just go on the field and perform and do what I love. And obviously there will always be pressure. There will always be those things that I'm fighting, but I think I'm in a much more confident state of mind that, is allowing me to have fun with what I'm doing, and to continue to grow as a person.
Yeah, I was going to say, one of the things that I think is so endearing is that, you are sort of saying like, hey, here's who I am. Here's what I get. Here's what I don't get. Here's what I'm about. But then when you see you on the field, you're like, I'm a bucket. I'm gonna go out and get that. You know what I mean? And is that something that, especially with players, you find like sometimes that on the pitch sort of character carries over. Sometimes it's like a go mode. What is it for you? Is there something that switches on when you're on the field?
I like to think I'm the same on and off the field, strangely.
You think you're this nice on the field?
Yeah, I'm a nice girl. Okay, when you put it like that, maybe I have a little bad side to me. I just think like I'm always competitive. So I'm competitive in everything off the field, which can be dangerous at times. But like every training session, I'm so competitive. And so when I'm on the field, like in that sense, nothing changes. And like I'm I want to win at everything in life. Like, I hate losing so much. And so that aspect is definitely like seen on the field. But yeah, in terms of like the aggression, the temperament with which I'm playing, I definitely think, also with like who's on the team with me, like that we all just like bring it out of each other. And I think that's why like we're successful and scary, hopefully.
Yeah, one of the other things I love also is your Twitter account. You are a person who is very sincere, honest, really. But not only that, you talk about just general things about just the growth of NWSL, just the growth of women's sports. You participate in the debate. Yeah, in the conversation. I think one of the things, and I don't remember if you've spoken on this specifically, but I have heard an interesting debate about NWSL and the way people cover it. That people sort of want to be able to be almost like mean about it or critical in a way that they are critical of men's sports, where they're like that some people feel that this is the way for the league to grow, to almost introduce some toxicity about the criticism of the actual play or the players in a way that is not drowning in misogyny and stuff like that, where it's just like be mean about the sport but not the people playing it. Do you know what I mean? So as far as when it comes to you mentioning kind of like aggression or OL Reign had a very controversial loss in the playoffs and things like that. And people were very frustrated with the refereeing and things like that. But what do you think of that sort of talking point of like, maybe the league to grow, we need to like be a little bit meaner about it?
Yeah, it's definitely a balance, and you're always riding the line because you don't want to be like super ungrateful and you don't want to make it seem like you hate what you're doing. But there also is this call to action of like, there's a standard that we're not meeting, and like everyone needs to know that, everyone needs to understand that, and like we're putting our foot down as players and not allowing anything less than that. And I think that's always the mindset when I am writing a tweet or when something does happen. It's like, how can I convey this message so that like, okay, I get it, ref made a mistake, he's human, but also like the standard in this league just has to be better. So how can we get refs who are qualified, to like in that situation to like do their job? And so, it's this fine line that I feel like I'm always balancing, because I don't want to say anything that I regret. Obviously nobody does. I don't want to use Twitter as just like this venting platform, but like also like it's a platform for a reason, and people are going to hear your voice. So like use it well and speak so that change can occur.